Welcome back to Arena Football Statement. I am your host, Dukon, and this week in the CIF, we have the regular season finale. It's been crazy. Playoff time, ownership changes, plenty of adjustments, and a crazy game in Billings. But let's start with a Kansas rivalry. The winless Topeka Tropics take on the hot Salina Liberty. Demarius Washington continues to impress as Javen Kilgo helps give this offense some relevance again, and boy did it show. The Liberty score a season-high 62 points, holding the Tropics to 26. Salina is currently tied in the standings with Billings and Omaha, but they hold the tiebreaker and are in second place. Playoff implications in Wyoming has the Mustangs hosting the Southwest Kansas Storm. It was assumed that if Wyoming wins, they're in, and boy did they deliver, as they made the Storm offense look non-existent. The Mustangs continue to ride Tobias Taylor, who helps them win this one 40-30, and it appears the Mustangs have clinched the final playoff spot for now, but it's still possible for the Marshals. The Storm falls to 5-4. Rapid City Marshals host the Omaha Beef, trying to get a playoff berth as well. The Beef come in well rested from their bye, and they do what they do. As the number one red zone offense controls the game and clocks super well on their way to a 44-24 victory over the Marshals, who fall to 2-7. It appears they will be eliminated from playoff contention, but there's still a possibility they could be the one coming in at the number 6 seed. The Beef move on to 6-3 and are battling for that number 2 seed. Last, we have the game of the week and the fight for the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the playoffs and Champions Bowl 7. Sioux City Bandits, coming off of a tough loss, come into Billings determined. The Outlaws control the first half on the arm of Charles McCollum. The second half, even though Tyron Laughinghouse is heroic, it might have been a different story, especially in the fourth quarter as the Bandit defense rallies around LaRonji Vason, who has a career day and 2 clutch fourth quarter interceptions, sealing the win for the Bandits 49-42. Vason had 4 turnovers for the Bandits in one game on the road. What a performance by that young man. Greg Connery also balled out, going 4 of 4 on field goals, 6 of 6 on PATs. Bandits clinch the number 1 seed, and the road to Champions Bowl will go through Sioux City. Now, let's observe the playoff scenarios. If the playoffs started today, the Bandits and Liberty would each get a first-round bye. Billings would host Wyoming, and Omaha would host the Southwest Kansas Storm. In round 2, the higher seed would play the lower seed. So assuming the home teams win in round 1, Sioux City would host Omaha in round 2, and Billings would travel to Salina. But here's another scenario. The Storm beat the Liberty and Billings wins. Billings gets number 2 seed and first round bye, and Salina falls all the way to the 5th seed to play the Storm again. If Omaha spoils Topeka's last chance at a win, they become the number 3 seed and host Wyoming. But now let's pretend that somehow a miracle happens where Wyoming loses and Rapid City beats the Bandits. By their tougher strength of schedule, they'd make the playoffs. If Omaha and Salina win and Billings loses, Omaha and Billings will still host, but the Beef are number 3. And if that's not confusing enough, if Omaha and Southwest Kansas win and Billings and Salina lose, the Beef move to the number 2 seed with a first round bye. The Storm stay at number 5, and even though Salina and Billings would both be 6-4 and are 1-1 against each other, the next tiebreaker is strength of schedule. But in this scenario, both Billings and Salina's opponents on their schedule would add up to 47 and 44. So the next tiebreaker is points scored to points allowed. The Liberty currently have plus 11 points more on their margin than Billings does, which means Salina would have to lose by at least 12 points more than Billings loses in order for Billings to maintain the number 3 seed. Oh wait, but we're forgetting something. In this scenario, Southwest Kansas Storm would also be 6-4. So now we have a 3-way tie between these teams. In the operations manual of the CIF, in case of a tiebreaker in a 3 or more team tie, one team wins the tiebreaker if they defeated all other teams in the tie. In this scenario, only one of these teams have beaten the other two this year, and that would be Billings, putting them at the 3 seed. And because Southwest Kansas Storm has beaten Salina, because of the head-to-head record, would put them at number 4. So what's gonna happen? Let's do some predictions for this week. We'll start with the Kansas rivalry. We've waited all year to see the Southwest Kansas Storm play the Salina Liberty. This game has the most potential to shake up the playoff race. The Storm have switched quarterbacks twice in as many weeks and have had trouble with the offensive line. My boy Casey Pierce has been sidelined with an injury, so he may not get to play his old team this week. That plus Salina's #1 defense and now surging offense could spell doom for the Storm. Let's go to Montana, where a crazy shakeup is happening in the organization. Thanks to other CIF owners and the league, they're making sacrifices to make the season end well. But due to that shakeup, Wyoming has a great chance of winning this game. But I believe there's enough great players on Billings that are dedicated to giving their community a show and seeing this thing all the way through to the end. Kudos to them. I think Billings wins it. In Omaha, at the Slaughterhouse, the Topeka Tropics will make one more desperate attempt at their first CIF win. It seems as though the defending champs are a little too tough to beat at home. It might not be pretty for the Tropics. But kudos to their coaches, players, organization, and fans for seeing this thing out. They should come out strong next season. Beef securing the 4th seed and hosting in round 1. Last, we have the Marshals making a last attempt at a playoff berth at Sioux City. The Marshals have shown a lot of grit. Antoine Smith and others have stuck with the team through hardship and show their value week in and week out. The Bandits have nothing to play for, but to put on a show for their fans. They could put kicker Greg Conry on the defensive line, put my boy Dejon Amory at quarterback, and have head coach Irv Strobing kicking field goals and still might come out on top. Now, maybe not, but maybe. I think they win it and play their starters to keep them sharp, finishing 9-1 on the season. Don't miss the action. Get a ticket and attend the game, or watch live on YouTube this weekend to kick off your summer. I'm eager to see who plays who in the playoffs, and that is my arena football statement.